In this video we'll have a look at command line arguments. This is very simple concepts. First, let's understand why we need arguments or command line arguments. There are different ways to get input from for a program. I mean, for a standard C program, the mechanism for input is scanf. That's the basic way which we all know it. There are also alternate ways to get the input. Some of the ways we'll have a look at it. Okay. One is it can be passed from an external thing. That's where the command line arguments comes in. Okay, so that's one style of passing data to a program. This is not a new one. We have been passing this from the first, like for example, in any command line commands or terminal commands like ls, ds, ls, dir, or cp, rm. All these things are small programs which takes the input as the file name or the directory name, and then it displays the output. So the same way we can write our own C program. So command line arguments is not a new thing for a person who is playing around, at least in the basic level, with any operating system. Okay, either you would be use that with the command or a terminal. The second way is to read from a file. Third is to send through a network. Reading from the file, we have already seen it. Sending through a network is a socket communication, which we'll look at later when it's needed. Okay, so these are the different mechanisms. So in this video, we'll mostly focus only on the first part, which is the passing information through the command line. Okay, so before diving deep into it, let's look at the main function. So as we have said in another video, like main is also another function. It's nothing special. Okay, the only thing is it's called first. Okay, even you can alter that as well. Okay, there are ways to do it. So apart from that, main is a normal function which takes some input and then returns the value. Okay, so that's the purpose of, that's the structure of main. Okay, generally the main has two variants. One is a non-argument version. The second one is the argument version. Okay, the arguments are two arguments which we have it. One is argc and the second one is the argv. So the one which you are looking inside that boxes is the syntax or the prototype for the main function which takes the argument. Int main open C braces, int argc character star argv. It's a vector or array, you can call it as, and then it takes the code. So this is the structure of main function which is taking an argument. There is another variant which doesn't have any input at all, just a main without any arguments. So in this, argc stands for arg, means is argument. That's a short form for argument. C is for count. Okay. The second parameter argv is a vector. As in the same, arg is for arguments, v is for vector. Okay. Here we get that as a character array because so that we can accommodate any type of input. It could be integer, it could be a floating point, it could be a character. Okay. So we all get that as a string, and then we can convert using a TOI or a TOI function, and then we can iterate through it using a for loop. Okay, so let's go a little deep into it. Okay, when a command line program is called from when a C program is called from a command line, it passes the values. Okay. In the command line, and each arguments are in its own position, like array of 1, array of 2. Array of 0 always contains the name of the executable or the path of the executable variable. Okay. As you know, all the commands are separated using a space. The space is the separator between one command line to another one. So this is the simplest program which can print all the commands which is passed to it. It starts with a main and then an integer variable I for a looping thing. And if you notice, the loop starts at 1. Okay, I equal to 1 less than arg of c. Arg of c instance argument of count, and then I plus plus, and I'm just printing it. Okay, this is the same thing which is in the notepad. Okay, so starting from there, we are printing the arguments and printing a /n so that it goes to the new line. Let's run it and then check it out. Where it is. So yeah, here it is. Okay, so let's call the GCC compiler GCC and My program name is command.c. Okay, you can name it anything, and the -o is for the output, and we'll give the exe name. So let's make the exe name as my command so that it becomes very clear. Okay, we don't need to get confused between these two things. Now we are going to call my command with the parameters. So the parameter could be anything. Let's see 1, 2, 3, and then Arun. Okay, 1, 2, Arun, GUI 3.5, or what else, 12. Let's put it. So if I enter it, the for loop begins and then it prints all the things. So since I have started from the 1, I index the file name is not printed. So let's change that into 0 to verify that it is right. Whatever I'm saying is right. Okay, let's recompile it and run the same command again. So and clear it. Let's run the same thing again. So that we'll get the output. So this time we are getting the command.exe as the first parameter. Sorry, first printf, which shows the first parameter is always the name of the exe file which you are running. Okay, so that's all about command line thing. So you can go and explore more on that. Okay, thank you friends. Bye bye.